Welcome back to the Just Like Family Calgary podcast. I'm your host Janelle, and today we're tackling a topic that a lot of families struggle with: how to talk to your parents about home health care. Whether you're a family caregiver, considering in-home care for a loved one, or simply seeking to understand how home health care works, this episode is here to give you insight on how to take the first step in bringing home health care into conversation.
Hi, it's Karen and Rick with Just Like Family Home Care. Do your parents need more care than you can give? We're here to help. We offer 24-hour premium care with a consistent helper.
Our home care services include transportation, personal care, housekeeping, and even overnight and dementia care.
At Just Like Family, we focus on relationships, ensuring your loved one is matched with someone perfect for them. We can help you navigate the aging journey and change your life. Learn more and go to justlikeFamily.ca.
Welcome back to the second episode of the Just Like Family Calgary podcast. I'm your host Janelle, and today we're tackling a topic that a lot of families struggle with: how to talk to your parents about home health care. Now, I know that this isn't the easiest conversation to have. It can feel awkward, emotional, and sometimes our parents just don't want to hear it. But if you've noticed that your loved one is having a harder time managing daily tasks, forgetting to take medications, or maybe struggling with mobility, having issues falling more often, or getting into situations that are just unsafe, it's probably time to bring up the idea of getting a little extra support. Although there is a really good chance they will be less than receptive to the idea initially, it is important to plant the seed and build the conversation around this topic before the situation becomes an emergency. It is much easier to transition to having a healthcare aide in your home in the earlier stages of care than when yourself and your family are feeling overwhelmed and frazzled, and all of a sudden you end up in a situation that is requiring immediate support. So, how do we approach this conversation in a gentle, respectful, and actually has them considering home health care? Today, we are going to provide some tips on how to approach this conversation and provide an insight on why approaching this conversation sooner than later is the ideal way to introduce home care. First, let's paint two scenarios. First scenario is the most ideal. The caretaker of the family brings up the conversation of home health care and plants the seed with a gentle approach. Planting the seed for thought may take a few weeks, a month, or even longer, and the conversation can expand to where you share the positives of home health care and provide ease to their anxieties and fears. You introduce a caregiver, and best case scenario, it is the perfect ideal caregiver right off the bat. It is important for families to reduce the expectation, as it can sometimes take a caregiver or two to find the right fit. There is also a transition period for the client, and this period ranges for everyone. The spectrum of time for someone to be comfortable with a new caregiver can vary person to person. If your loved one is less receptive or struggles with transitions, home care like Just Like Family Calgary will work with you to schedule shorter shifts, 2 to 3 times a week as recommended, and then from there, increase hours as needed. A customized care plan is created, and then Just Like Family Calgary management team will monitor and adjust accordingly, whether it be scheduling, updating the care plan, or forwarding information to the caregivers. The ideal scenario is a smooth transition phase with the family and the client who are receptive to the idea of home care. The second scenario could look like an emergency situation that has forced your family and your parent to require home care services immediately. The overall energy is stressful, emotional, and just very distressful overall. So for example, we have Hermione, a 38-year-old mother of 3, gets a frantic call from her older brother George. Their 72-year-old father has been managing a recent stroke and has just suffered a severe fall in the garage. He's conscious but unable to move his left leg, and his speech is slurred. Meanwhile, their mother, Christine, who has mild dementia, is panicking and unable to provide any real assistance. She is confused and unable to put into accurate words to describe the event. Christine, their mother, has forgotten that she has left the stove burner on because she was attending to the noise that she heard in the garage. Now, the son, George, who lives 2 hours away, is stuck in traffic. Hermione is across town with 3 children at home, and one of them being a newborn. The hospital confirms that their father has a fractured hip and will be discharged in 48 hours, but he'll need around-the-clock care. Christine, their mother, is not capable of managing his needs alone. Now we have George and Hermione, who have their hands full with their own families and cannot provide 24/7 care for their parents. They need home care immediately. Now all of a sudden, Hermione and George are scrambling to find care with no idea of what the first steps to home care. No clear path forward, and the tensions are high. Now these situations do happen. If we look back between the two scenarios, which situation is the most ideal? I think that we would all agree that the first scenario is the most ideal blueprint path to introducing home care. So, how do you bring up this conversation of home health care? Well, the most important part is to bring it up before it's an emergency. If you wait until there's a fall, a hospitalization, or a major health or safety event, emotions will be running high and it'll be harder to make calm and well thought out decisions when everybody is in crisis mode. So, the first step is to bring up the idea of home care casually, maybe over coffee or during a family gathering, somewhere where everybody is relaxed. You could say something like, "Mom, I've noticed you've been a little bit more tired lately," or "Dad, I've noticed you've been falling a lot lately. I just want to make sure that you're getting all the help you need. Have you ever thought about getting a little extra support at home?" Now, this is a gentle way to bring it up, but oftentimes we see that our parents or loved ones are fiercely independent, and so you may need to approach the conversation a little bit differently. "Dad, I know you love living at home, but I want to make sure you can stay here as long as possible. What if we brought in someone just to help out with the little things like groceries and housekeeping?" You may want to introduce other positive things that a caregiver can introduce into their lives, such as doing some of their favorite activities and hobbies. However, it is also important to remember that this conversation isn't just about you trying to convince them. It's also about understanding their own fears and hesitations. It's about providing a safe space to communicate your concerns, with the focus being on the great impact it can provide to their quality of life. It is important that we practice being compassionate and listen to their concerns. An important aspect to remember is that there is often an underlying worry that accepting help means losing independence. So reassurance is the key here. They may express that there is a fear of losing their sense of freedom, but it's important to highlight that home health care aides can make their life easier and safer. Caregivers can aid in promoting their sense of freedom and independence, but it also provides comfort in knowing that there is someone else monitoring your parents or your loved one. From there, it's important to listen and acknowledge their further concerns. Maybe they're worried about a stranger coming into their home, or maybe it's about the cost. Acknowledge their feelings and let them know that you'll find solutions together. Now, if they're hesitant, I encourage to highlight the positives. They get to stay in their own house or their own space. There's no need for a big move or a major lifestyle change. And it could just be a little bit of help to start, maybe just a few hours a week to start, and have a balance of tasks that they enjoy doing with chores that are required to make the week easier. This could be helping to put away groceries, cleaning out the fridge of expired food, taking out the recycling, and other small tasks. You could also highlight that they may have more time to enjoy the things that they actually want to do, because a caregiver can handle the daily tasks that are a little bit more energy consuming for them. Caregivers can also aid in encouraging them to do things that they otherwise maybe wouldn't be able to do. And it also gives everybody peace of mind, where you don't have to worry as much and they'll have someone there when they need it. Okay, so you planted the seed, you started the conversation of bringing in a caregiver, but they're still a little hesitant. What is the next step? Well, I would suggest a trial run, maybe just a few visits a week to start, short and sweet. We do have a 4-hour minimum to shifts, but starting with 2 visits a week at 4 hours each shift is a good way to transition into home care. Once they see how helpful it is and the right caregiver is matched based on skill and personality, they will likely come around. At Just Like Family Calgary, we completely get that no two families are the same. That's why we offer personalized care plans to match each client's specific needs. We're also compassionate and understand the importance of connecting the right caregiver to be placed with your family. We can match your loved one with someone they truly connect with. At Just Like Family Calgary, we take the matching very seriously, and we do our best to find the right caregiver. In some cases, it can take a few caregivers to find the right one, but it is important for both us and your family that we find the right caregiver. Our trained caregivers provide specialized support. We have certified healthcare aides with a variety of skills and have worked with a variety of different environments such as hospitals, group homes, day programs, and facilities. We have healthcare aides who are familiar using lifts and come with all types of different personalities and character traits. We understand that there is a multifaceted approach to caring for individuals with a spectrum of health conditions, including personality, approach, and skill set. So if you're feeling nervous about bringing this conversation up with your parents or loved one, just remember, start small, be patient, and make it about their comfort and independence. We want to promote and increase their quality of life while also ensuring their safety and needs are met. Having a caregiver is a symbolic relationship that enriches companionship and provides support. It is about adding more to their life, more support, more companionship, and more opportunities to increase their quality of life. Thanks for tuning in today for today's episode. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone you know who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on navigating home healthcare in Calgary. Until next time, take care, and remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all in this together.